Hey there, how you doing? Didn't notice you there. Is it creepy that I'm this close to you? Why don't you get close to your monitor, whether that's your phone, your screen, your television, and let's get close together. Hello friends, here's a little piece of magic virginity that you might appreciate. All it involves is just a simple post-it pad, a Sharpie marker, and a spectator's signature, or it could even be their phone number. What's to say you approach a shawty hanging out at the club and you say, "Hey, homegirl, why don't you put your digits on my post-it note pad?" Odds are she's gonna say no. But then you hit up another shawty and she might say yes. So let's say she decides to write down her name, and her name happens to be, I don't know, Shithead. But you find out that it's actually pronounced Shatheed. Now, in the interest of fairness, I did steal that joke. I'm not sure where though, so please leave it in the description section below where you think I stole it from, because I forgot. Now, Shatheed, you might not necessarily be aware of it, but the ink in which you wrote your name on my post-it pad is actually very unique. It's actually special thermal ink from NASA. See, look, if we take it, we could actually pull your signature right off of the post-it pad. Of course, maybe I should have considered wearing a white shirt instead of this black shirt, but you could still see it right there. But Shatheed, I'm sure you don't want to see your name in this form, so we'll just take it right back and put it on the post-it note pad for you to appreciate and give to all your friends as a memento of this occasion. So go ahead, take the entire pad, and never forget me. Now, my friends, this is a very easy trick to do. It just requires a couple different things. You're gonna need to go to your Home Depot and purchase electric tape. It's right next to the kits that include duct tape, 50-gallon drums, hammers, shovels, and tarps. I don't know why Home Depot keeps that little kit together, but you could find a nice bit of electric tape, which is usually used to bind hands together or to wrap around electrical cables. You're also going to need a post-it pad and a thumb tip. That's right, a thumb tip. That's your modus operandi. I see you complaining, but you probably have one in a drawer somewhere, so stop bitching. Now, I've seen many different magicians over the years play with the concept of ink on a piece of paper, whether that's card, whether that's card stock, whether that's a business card or post-it pads. Several magicians have played with this concept. This specifically is reminiscent of an idea from David Williamson in his original illustrious piece, Torn and Restored, where he would do this as a little bit of a gag. However, there are other magicians like Richard Sanders, Jay Sankey, and many, many more that have played around with the concept of ink being removed from a piece of paper, which is exactly what we're doing here. So to set up, it's very easy. You're just going to grab yourself a length of, in this case, electrical tape. Make sure it's the black kind. You're going to pull it, and here all you're going to do is you're just going to bunch it up and coil it, just like this. Look at that. That's all you're doing with this electric tape. This is the setup. It's not really complicated as in the rest of magic. People typically make it seem a lot more complicated than it is, just because we're trying to make ourselves seem special. Because imagine, in a group of people, how many are going to be magicians? Not a lot of them. So you're going to be the one that thinks that you're going to stand out. But it's not as interesting to other people as you might imagine it to be. So all we're doing is we're just bunching up this little bit of electric tape. And here, we're just going to coil it around our thumb. Now, when you coil it around your thumb, I want you to notice that I'm grabbing approximately what is 5 inches, about 1 inch to ½ an inch, and I'm putting that, projecting right there behind my thumb. The reason for that is because that's going to be my little tail. In a moment, I'm going to need to put that inside of the thumb tip, and this little tail is going to ensure that I'm going to be able to pull it out. So you grab your handy thumb tip and your bound electric tape, and you're just going to insert it there and smush it. There's no science, there's no art to this. Just smush it, but make sure that your little tail is sticking out. Now at this point, this could go inside of your pocket along with a Sharpie marker, and you're good to go, baby. Now at this point, you're going to approach a participant and you're going to say, "Hey, do me a favor and write your name on this post-it pad." And of course, you're going to hand them a Sharpie. If you choose to give them a bougie silver Sharpie, make sure that you get it back, especially if their name's Shatheed. You get what I mean? Theft. So you're going to snatch the pen back and put it in your pocket, and that is where you are going to put on your trusty thumb tip. So that's going to go on your thumb and you're going to be ready to go. Now from this, all you're going to do is you're going to mention that the ink on the actual pad itself is a special NASA ink. You have some insider information on some new stuff coming out, right, in the stationery community. And here all you're going to do is you're going to turn it to yourself. Your thumb tip is on your thumb. And all that's going to happen is as follows. I'm just going to grab the thumb tip like this and I'm going to push up a little bit past my knuckle. The reason for that is because when I bring my thumb out of the thumb tip, look at what's going to happen. If I could ever actually get this in a right position, because apparently I'm a troglodyte and I don't know angles on a camera. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to pull this little string out, and to the spectator, it's just going to seem like I'm pulling the signature from the actual pad itself. And you could actually move this around in different angles because you're pretty well covered. But here's what it looks like from the back. Now you're going to pull until you feel comfortable. And what you're going to do is that when you want to put it back, all that's going to happen is you're going to bunch it back and forth just like this. And you're going to shove that right back into the thumb tip along with the rest of the thumb tip back on your thumb. That's what I said, on your thumb. So this is going to allow you to do is you're going to be able to turn this around and with clean hands show absolutely nothing in your hand and be able to hand out the Post-it pad. Look at this. Look at this wonderful image. They see empty hands. They can look at the Post-it note pad and they're going to look at this up and down and swear that there's something special about it. But guess what? There's nothing in there, baby. The gimmick is inside of your thumb tip. And as a matter of fact, you're ready to go for the next round. If you pull on the thumb tip, you're going to notice that you're still going to have the little thing bunched up ready for another performance. So I was thinking of a bunch of different handlings for this particular piece, but ultimately I came back to the thumb tip just because this right here is so simple. Your hands look empty. You're able to push it back in there and you could show the signature to be on the card. And they're going to think that this is where the magic lies. And of course, your hands are empty, so they're not going to think anything of it. Oh boy, what a great trick. Look at that, my friends. Magic doesn't need to be difficult. As I was saying earlier in that little bit, we try to make it seem difficult because we try to seem special, but it's not. Look at this. This is super simple to do. All you need is a Post-it pad, a Sharpie, and the little thumb tip, and you're going to have a gag that people are going to remember. Here's a problem with magic in general, and I know there's a lot of things wrong with magic and specifically magicians, but you show something like this and you show somebody, I don't know, a 10-phase immaculate ambitious card routine, they're going to remember this. They're going to remember this bit. They're not going to remember the ambitious card where, oh, look, I wrapped it in a neoprene underwater cable and I wrapped it and the card still came. No, they're not going to remember that. What they're going to remember is this guy pulled my signature from a piece of paper. Look, I still have the paper in my wallet. So they're going to remember that. So keep this in your little arsenal, right? Those of you guys from the other side of the pond hear me say arsenal and you hear arse, right? Because you guys don't know how to properly use the English language, and you think, oh, keep this in your arse. No, my friends. I mean, keep this in your magic toolbox, your arsenal, right? So this is a fun bit to do. I don't know how to end the video, honestly. Boy, went to a concert recently. The Midnight. It's one of my favorite bands. It's a retro wave band. I wasn't born in the 80s. I was born in the 90s. The 90, as a matter of fact. My birthday is actually coming up very soon, but I like to pretend that I'm from a different age, which makes me a little bit of a hipster. But here's the thing. Going to that particular concert, I don't like hipsters. I'm aware that I'm probably a hipster myself, but I don't like them. It's the same thing with short people. I'm aware of my shortcomings, but I still don't like short people. I feel like every time I see them, they're overcompensating. They're trying to seem like something they're not. Just embrace it. Own it.